Welcome into Duval Daily, presented by GenJag.com. I'm Jordan DeLugo. Thank you so much for being here. Thursday, July 3rd, last show, unless there's breaking news, before the holiday. And happy holiday, happy 4th of July, Independence Day to everybody out there. Hope we all enjoy it with family and friends. I know we've got a lot of family and friends in town this week. Got my buddy Josh's birthday tomorrow, big 4th of July / birthday party. So it's going to be a lot of fun. But right now, we're taking a look at 10 players really that I think should be celebrated, right? We're celebrating the holiday tomorrow. 10 Jaguars players that should be celebrated, and it's a top 10 list. It is the top 10 Jaguars of 2025. We're also going to offer 3 players that could be on this list based on talent that are not currently on the list for various reasons that very well could be on the list at some point during the 2025 season. But right now, I've got my top 10 Jaguars of 2025, and honestly, it's an impressive list. One of the interesting things about this list is 3 of the Jaguars' top 10 players are special team specialists. That's definitely not common around the league, in my opinion, and normally I would just mention them and go through the rest of the list, but they deserve to be praised. They absolutely do. And the Jaguars' top 10 players for me right now, starting at number 10, Tyson Campbell, who really could be much higher on this list based on his talent. Really, the issue for him is he's been injured a lot the last couple years, but you've seen when he has a healthy season in this league, he can be one of the better corners in the league. And it also helps when he's playing in primarily his own defense, which is what they're going to be doing here in Jacksonville in 2025 with Anthony Campanile leading the way. When Tyson Campbell is able to have a vision on the quarterback and play the game that way, he's in a much better spot, play forward more often than playing in reverse. And I think that Tyson Campbell has the opportunity to vault himself into even like the top 5 of this list. But as of right now, because of injuries the last couple years and up and down play and maybe a system last year that didn't really suit him or anyone that was in it, it's hard to put him higher on this list right now. And you will notice there's not a lot of defensive players on this list outside of your big guys up front that obviously have been very good for the Jaguars. Actually, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, actually half of the list is defensive players. So I do think despite the issues last year that some of these guys were able to play at a high enough level where I very, very clearly value them in the top 10. And actually the 10 through 7 is all defensive players. 4 is a defensive player. At 5 and 6, we've got offensive players, and then 1 through 3 is actually those specialists. So not bury the lead too much there. Getting at number 9, I think Jordan Lewis comes over from Dallas, and you might scoff at him being this high on the list, but the bottom line is the position he plays is nickel and sometimes outside corner. He's been excellent in that role. Absolutely excellent as a nickel corner in this league. And you've already seen that carry over to the practice field where he makes plays, where he shows smarts, he shows instincts. He's a good tackler in the nickel. I just think that you look at Jordan Lewis and there's a complete game there, a veteran leadership aspect to the game, but also a really good player on the field. And so I could not make this list without having him on it. I think when you look at Tyson Campbell, Jordan Lewis, and also potentially having Travis Hunter, who's not on this list, obviously be potentially a top 10 player for the Jaguars. I just didn't include any rookies. That could be a really good corner group if you're able to get Travis Hunter on the field as much as the Jaguars are hoping to. So Jordan Lewis, very good player. And before we get to 8, I did want to touch on the 3 guys that could be on this list that are not on the list. And there's really probably more than 3, but the 3 that really stood out to me the most were Anton Harrison, Devin Lloyd, and Eric Armstead. I think all 3 of them are extremely talented. You probably go ahead and throw Walker Little on that list as well that could be on this. But I think Anton Harrison, if he gets it together from a consistency standpoint, from an effort standpoint every single day, he has the ability to be a top flight pass protecting left tackle or right tackle in the NFL or left tackle, and also be a positive contributor in a run game that probably is going to feature a lot of outside zone. And then Devin Lloyd, already a great run defending linebacker going into a contract season. If he can get it together from a mental standpoint and coverage, he has the chance to be one of the best linebackers in the league, bar none. Eric Armstead came off the knee injury last year, took longer to recover from that than expected, played edge instead of interior defensive line. When he was actually lined up on the interior, he was much more productive. I think all three of these guys could be in line for big seasons and have the talent to be top 10. I think Walker Little does too. So those are the four players not on this list. We have 10 Tyson Campbell, 9 Jordan Lewis, and then that gets us to number 8 with Trayvon Walker. And I think Trayvon Walker absolutely can be much higher on this list. But to this point, what we have with Trayvon Walker is a Iron Man type of player, always on the field, great run defender. I know that like PFF grades, whatever, might not have him as a great run defender, but he makes more consistent impact against the run than just about any defensive and edge player in the league over the last several years. And then somebody who has developed into a guy that can get the double-digit sacks. He just needs to be more consistent with the pressures, with the down-to-down play as a pass rusher. And when he gets to that point, and I think he will get to that point, he's going to be higher on this list for the Jaguars, and he's going to be one of the most feared edge players in the league. I think he's still on that track, on that trajectory. He came in as an extremely raw pass rusher. He knew how to defend the run and be a playmaker from the jump. He had to develop his game mentally and physically with the pass rush arsenal. I think it's coming together really nicely. Again, he's improved every year as a pass rusher. He's got stacked back-to-back double-digit sack seasons. So I think he's moving in the right direction, and he is a very good player already for the Jaguars. At number 7, I have Foye Oluokun, who has been one of the most consistent linebackers in the league. And I'm not just talking about because he comes up with, 150 tackles a year, whatever it ends up being, and is just an absolute freak when it comes to that, and led the league in tackles 2 years in a row, almost did it 3 years in a row. It's really because of the leadership, the playmaking when the team needs it. When this team has been in situations where they need a clutch tackle short of the sticks, Foye Oluokun has been one of the guys that is always around the football. He's the green dot player. He is both good in coverage and as a run defender. And so I think Foye absolutely deserves to be on this list. At number 6, I have Jaguars quarterback Trevor Lawrence. I think Trevor has shown that when he is healthy and when everything is right, or even just okay around him, he can elevate the team to be a playoff caliber team and a team that can win a playoff game. And so you look at his deep passing ability, his ability on the move, on the run, his gutsiness. And I think that Trevor Lawrence clearly is a top 10 player for the Jacksonville Jaguars and has the potential to be the number 1 player on this list for the team. He absolutely does. I think you could look at probably Trayvon, Trevor, and the next 2 guys as players that absolutely have the potential to be number 1, and also, without question, Travis Hunter has the potential to be number 1 player on the team. I just didn't include him because he's a rookie. At number 5 is Brian Thomas Jr., who is just an absolute stud already, even as a rookie. There were mistakes on tape. There was not being at the right route depth. There was releasing inside instead of outside, and that leads to poor spacing, which leads to the defense being able to make a play on the ball. But even when you include the rookie mistakes, his rookie season was so unbelievable. His ability to be a 3-level threat, to move around the formation, catch screen passes, catch slants, catch digs, catch posts. I mean, he was the best post receiver in the NFL by a wide margin, and I think that the ceiling is virtually limitless for a guy who has every tool in the tool bag that you could ask for from a physical standpoint. Brian Thomas Jr. at number 5. At number 4, we've got Josh Hines Allen, who is the most consistent player on this team for the last several years that's not on special teams, that actually plays on the defense or offensive side of the ball. really good pass rusher, really good run defender, high effort player. He's got all the physical ability you could ask for. He's honed and developed that physical ability. He's going to become the Jaguars' all-time leading sack getter, which is more of a commentary on the Jaguars' lack of elite pass rushers than it is anything else. But still, Josh Hines Allen has proven he can be a high-end pass rusher and a really consistent run defender, one of the more well-rounded edge players in the league. So Josh Hines Allen absolutely at the top of this list when it comes to offense and defense. And then you've got your three specialists. Look, Ross Matisic, Pro Bowl long snapper. He's a guy that always gets the ball where it needs to be when it comes to snapping, which is an underrated part of the game. But then what he does as a coverage player on punts is awesome, right? He's so consistent and so high effort, so good at running down, covering kicks, and making plays on the football. I mean, he's got to be pull up his stats. Let's see here. Yeah, I mean, in 2023, he had 6 tackles, 7 tackles. Last year, he had 3 tackles. He's been a fantastic specialist for the Jaguars and part of a unit led by Heath Farwell that is just one of the best in the league every single year. And then that leads us to Cam Little at number 2, who, yeah, I mean, despite being a rookie last year, he performed at a level that indicates he should be this high on this list. He, I believe, made 93% of his kicks last year. Let's see here. Yeah, 93.1% of his field goal attempts he made. He was 27 of 29. Okay, he didn't have any attempts from inside of 20, but from 20 to 29 yards, he was 8 of 8. From 30 to 39 yards, he was 6 of 6. From 40 to 49 yards, he was 8 of 9. And from 50 plus yards, he was 5 of 6. I mean, he was unbelievable. He was perfect on extra points. He was also really good on kickoffs at being able to kick it out of the back of the end zone if that's what they wanted, being able to aim it for certain spots of the end zone, certain spots of the field. And he really was incredible. And at such a young age, the sky is the limit. Kicker is obviously a position that it's fickle. It's kind of like golf where you can have the yips and you lose your confidence and all that stuff. But to this point, we've seen no indication that that's an issue for Cam Little, and he was unbelievable. So he deserves his credit. And at number 1, we do have Logan Cook, who, look, one of the best in the game, bar none, for the last, was he drafted? Was he 2019? Was he the same year as Josh Hines Allen? Yeah, 2018. 2018, he came in, and he's just been so darn good for the Jaguars in the punting department. And whether it's yards per attempt, whether it's net, whether it's downing, inside the 20, not allowing returns, Logan Cook is absolutely very special, and he got rewarded with a nice contract. He was the highest paid punter for about, 12 hours, something like that. The Seahawks, I believe, came in and had to up the ante there. But Logan Cook, a very, very good football player. And yeah, specialists are football players too. I think if you were to eliminate the specialists from this list and complete that top 10, it would probably be the 3 guys I brought up. But honestly, I know you shouldn't include a rookie in a top 10 list. That's probably what I would do. I would probably have Travis Hunter in the top 10 because I believe that's where he will be and that's where he belongs to be. I think he'll be an unbelievable player for the Jaguars for a very long time. And yeah, that's where we're at. Really appreciate y'all tuning in. If you enjoy the content, please like and subscribe. Y'all have a happy 4th and have a good night.